When we think of Julius Caesar, most people think of a Roman dictator, a great general, or an ambitious politician who laid the foundations of the Roman Empire. But there is a lesser-known aspect, what made him not just a conqueror, but a leader beyond his time: his extraordinary composure and control of his emotions. Caesar was not a philosopher. He did not write about morality like Seneca. He did not leave behind meditations like Marcus Aurelius. But he lived like a Stoic, amid war, betrayal, and bloodshed. He proved that power lies not in the fist, but in the mastery of the self. Gallia, the battlefield of reason. In 58 BC, Julius Caesar was appointed governor of Gallia, a remote, wild land that included much of modern-day France. It was not an honor but a challenge that many feared. The land was a gathering place of hundreds of savage, aggressive tribes, always rebelling against any power that wanted to control them. But Caesar did not back down. He saw Gallia not as a military campaign, but as an opportunity to temper himself, to build an empire not just of iron and steel, but of mental discipline. During his 8 years of fighting in Gallia, he led more than 10 major campaigns, winning victories against hundreds of thousands of Gauls. But what made him great was not the numbers. It was the way he faced adversity without being overwhelmed by emotion. A battle without swords. As soon as he set foot in Gallia, Caesar faced the Helvetii tribe, an alliance of tens of thousands of people who were leaving their homeland to invade Roman territory. This action completely broke the signed treaty. Caesar's generals were furious, calling for immediate action. Some demanded a punitive strike without any negotiation. "Teach them what it means to be Roman," they shouted. But Caesar was different. He calmly called a meeting, listened to every report, analyzed the logistics, the terrain, and the soldiers' psychology. After a long sleepless night, he said, "We do not win by anger. We win by reason." He backed down not because he was afraid but because he was not ready. He ordered the Helvetii's supply lines cut off, and divided his legions to create a tactical advantage. And when the time came, he struck. Quickly, neatly, decisively. Without a single mistake. Stoicism taught, the wise do not let their emotions guide their actions. They let their reason guide their way. Caesar understood this, and he practiced it as a vital principle. Do not react, reflect. Amidst every victory there are countless betrayals. One day, Dumnorix, a leader who had sworn allegiance to Rome, was discovered to be secretly preparing a rebellion. The news spread like wildfire. His advisors were furious and demanded his immediate execution. But Caesar did not let his emotions get the better of him. He summoned Dumnorix not to interrogate him but to listen. In silence, he looked straight at the man who had betrayed him and asked, "What are you so afraid of that you must lie?" No reproach. No punch. Just observation and psychological analysis. Caesar understood, betrayal does not come from malice. It comes from fear. And when he understands the fear of others, he can control the situation. Dumnorix was executed. But not as a punishment for anger, but as a strategic move, to keep the confidence of his troops and to deter those who wavered. Once again reason prevailed. Alesia, where Caesar was besieged both inside and outside. One of the most difficult moments in the Gallic campaign was the Battle of Alesia. Caesar laid siege to the last stronghold of the wise and influential leader Vercingetorix. But in the meantime, Gallic reinforcements arrived from all over, surrounding Caesar. He was caught between two pincers, the enemy inside the city and the enemy outside. In the Roman camp, fear spread. Some commanders advised him to retreat. Others panicked, blaming each other. And Caesar? He stood on the hill in the cold autumn air, looking at the two enemies surrounding him, and ordered the construction of 2 walls. One to keep Vercingetorix inside the city, the other to keep the reinforcements outside. When people asked, "What if both attack?" he simply said, "I cannot control the enemy, but I can control my own preparation." That is the essence of Stoic philosophy. Not controlling the world, only controlling our response to it. And Caesar, with an almost inhuman calm, turned the tide. Alesia fell. Vercingetorix surrendered. And Rome won. No one is born strong as steel. Some will say, Caesar is strong because he is a genius. But that is not true. That mental strength comes from training, from failure, from reflection. Once, a Roman legion was ambushed and destroyed by a chieftain named Ambiorix. The news shocked many people. Caesar lost sleep for many nights. But he did not blame anyone. He did not explode in anger. He went to the scene, surveyed the battlefield, checked every flaw in the process. Then he reorganized his troops, changed the way he gave orders, trained his soldiers more thoroughly. Not a word of complaint. Not a tear. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "When bad things happen, don't ask, why me? Ask, what am I going to do about it?" Caesar didn't let himself be a victim of circumstances. He acted. And that is true strength. A lesson for today. You may not lead an army, but you lead your life. Every day you face hardship, betrayal, hurt, temptation. And each time you have two choices. Either react emotionally, or react rationally. Caesar chose rationality, not because he was weak but because he understood, the one who controls himself is invincible. You can do the same. Every time you are offended, stop. Whenever you feel like giving up, ask yourself, is this within my control? Whenever you feel afraid, remember, action over fear, not thought. The greatest victory. Caesar conquered Gallia. But his greatest victory was not on the map, but on the inside. He overcame himself, over anger, pride, arrogance of power, to act as a rational man. He probably never read Marcus Aurelius. But he lived as Marcus wrote. Conquering oneself, that is the greatest empire. You don't have to be Caesar to do it. You just have to start today, with one small choice. Choose to react rationally. Choose to be disciplined. Choose to be silent when necessary. And choose to act when ready. Remember, Gallia can be chaotic out there. But if your mind is as strong as a fortress, you're already a winner.